Quake could be making a comeback, and Phil Spencer further goes into the Xbox Game Pass strategy. Xbox Game Pass and the Xbox ecosystem is probably one of the premier places for first-person shooters when you think about all of the great games that they have currently within Xbox Game Pass, especially after the acquisition of Bethesda, when you're getting games like Doom and you're getting games like Wolfenstein, and Quake can be added to that list, but we haven't seen a new Quake game in quite a while. Well, it looks like that all may be changing, as there may be a revitalized edition that could be announced next week at QuakeCon. So QuakeCon is going to be running from August 19th to the 21st as an all digital event. So this is the schedule for QuakeCon. If you just head over to quakecon.bethesda.net, you're going to be able to find all of the events going on at QuakeCon if you want to check them out. And every single day is packed. We have stuff starting here on the first day that may be some of the most interesting stuff. We have the QuakeCon pre-show, QuakeCon homebrew games, QuakeCon champions, Wolfenstein 3D arcade. Then we go through to Friday, and again, just another jam-packed schedule with stuff from like Fallout and Doom. And then we got Elder Scrolls Online on Saturday, and then Sunday you end off with this. There's a bunch of stuff, but make sure to go check it out if you want to tune in to specific things. But this was just recently spotted on Xbox Era in this schedule that mentioned a plan to discuss a revitalized edition of Quake during the Let's Talk Quake session. And the event description, which has now been removed, says Quake is back. In the special stream, John Linneman from Digital Foundry talks to Dirk Gustafsson of Machine Games about the title's iconic legacy and what it meant to both of them. The pair will also discuss the additional content Machine Games have contributed to this revitalized edition. And June 22nd has marked the 25th anniversary of Quake, so it would be a good year, a good time to put out a new Quake game, a remake or remaster, anything like that that will get Quake fans excited. And then previously to this, Nick Baker from the Xbox Era podcast had claimed that he had heard that a new entry in Quake was in development at id Software and Machine Games. So this would include a single player mode and a multiplayer mode, plus a female protagonist. Now with Quake, one of the things with it that makes it so unique is that all of the games have been relatively different. I mean, you have the single player stuff that started off the series, and you have the arena shooter, then you have Quake Champions in 2017. Now me personally, I have played Quake before. I'm not the biggest Quake aficionado or anything like that, but I've dabbled in like the original Quake games on PC, and I definitely remember them being one of my early experiences of playing games on PC, that with like Doom as well as Duke Nukem. Those are like some of the FPS shooters I played early on in the PC era when I was very young. So it would be really cool to see a revitalized edition of it. I would love to see a single player campaign mode for the next Quake game. Moving on here to some more information about Xbox Game Pass and the Xbox strategy via Phil Spencer and an interview with Games Radar. So as we know, the Xbox strategy is to get Xbox Game Pass on as many platforms as possible, get as many people being able to subscribe and play games on the service. And Phil Spencer even said way back with the Xbox and Bethesda event that the Bethesda games are going to be anywhere that Xbox Game Pass is, meaning if you have an Xbox Game Pass app, even if that was on a competing console, you're going to be able to access all of the upcoming Bethesda games. Now, it would be pretty crazy, I think, for PlayStation and for Nintendo to want to have Xbox Game Pass on their platforms unless they struck a really lucrative deal with Microsoft that paid them a ton of money for every time somebody signs up for Xbox Game Pass through their platform. I think that eventually could work in some way. I'm not sure how the business deal would work, but obviously right now Nintendo and PlayStation want nothing to do with Xbox Game Pass on their platforms. So in an interview with Games Radar, Phil Spencer indicated this, saying, you know, it's the right question because people usually ask me about releasing one individual game or another, and what I say is I want the full Xbox experience to be something that we deliver. We have no plans to bring the Xbox app to any other kind of closed platform right now, mainly because those closed platforms don't want something like Xbox Game Pass. There's a ton of open platforms out there for us to grow in, the web, PC, and mobile. So all of our focus, frankly, is on those platforms. And we've seen that. We've seen them continue to grow on those open platforms. Even in my video yesterday, where we saw with the Atari VCS, you could literally just download Chrome through the PC side of the console and stream Xbox games through xCloud. And then potentially could just download Xbox Game Pass on the Atari VCS itself and download games natively. I don't know if anybody's tried that out yet. I don't know how powerful the console is and what games you'd be able to play. However, you probably could do it if it's just an open PC. And we see things going further like the Steam Deck when that's going to be released. You're going to see tons of people installing Windows and putting Xbox Game Pass onto their Steam Deck. He continues on here saying that's not a slam on anybody else who has a system that works for them. I can see why the disruption of Game Pass is not something they want right now. In the end, when we say we want everybody to be able to play on Xbox, we really mean if we can bring that full experience to a device that players want, we are totally open to those discussions. And again, this is just all business deals. I mean, at the end of the day, if Nintendo or PlayStation approached Xbox and said, hey, we want Xbox Game Pass on our platform, what can we do in terms of a business deal so that we can both be making money here? I'm sure Phil Spencer and I'm sure Microsoft and Xbox would be ears wide open to come up with something like that. But they are direct competitors. Nintendo and Sony are very closed platforms. They lock everybody into their consoles and you have to purchase them in order to play them. So they want nothing really to do with this. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. Let me know what you think about Quake in a revitalized edition. What would you like to see from a revitalized Quake? And what do you think about Phil Spencer's comment on Xbox Game Pass on other consoles? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, you like what you see throughout this video, I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button to help this channel grow and help grow this community, so we can just have great conversations in the comments below. Thank you again for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video.
We'll be right back.